Hello, everyone. This is your friend Kelly here, and welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, I would advise you to check out my other content on this channel. I am here to help guide and assist you, and basically, you remembering who you really are and living pretty much the best life you can. So, today's topic is about fears. There's a lot of people, and if you clicked on this, you would be one of them, that actually lives in fear all the time, like every day. So I'm going to tell you what the fears really is that and what is happening in your mind. And then I am going to do inner child work with my little one. She'll come out and help, and she has her favorite card deck, okay, that she loves to use. So, fear, okay, our fears, believe it or not, is just your inner child. All your fears is your inner child. So, this is actually what had happened. My inner child, she is 5. I call her Little Cow. She is 5 because when she was 5, a situation happened. And if you stop and think about what happened as a adult, you wouldn't think that that was a big deal, right? And I'm going to let her share that with you. That's not something I'm going to share. I'm going to let my inner child Kel come out and share that. So basically, what happens is in your childhood, a trauma is going to happen to you. Either you're going to feel unsafe, you're going to feel worthless, you're going to feel like you can't trust someone. Something's going to happen that's going to cause the inner child to basically freeze at that age and never grow up. They are that age. Now, we're in human adult bodies, right? Human, that's funny. I said human. We're in adult bodies and in human adult bodies. Um, but the child, the one who's been running our minds with all these fears, is our inner child. They never grew. They were stuck. They were frozen kind of in time, but the body kept growing. So that's why sometimes we feel like the stuff that's happening is like we're so scared, or is it like we say it's too big to handle? If it was a 5-year-old child, yeah, it would totally be too big to handle, like finances for a 5-year-old not knowing what she's doing. Um, Driving sometimes, again, these are little kids. So they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to drive this. So that's what happened. So with little Cal, when she was 5, she had a situation happen where she felt unsafe. So then she thought her job was to make sure I was safe from not having anything happen to me. Well, that didn't last very long because a few years later, another big thing happened to me. Okay. It was my sexual abuse that happened. So again, little Kel took that was her responsibility, and that she is trying to figure out how to keep me safe, even though she doesn't know what safe is. And it was never her job, because we came here to experience all of this pain and trauma. That's why in our souls, guys, we have unconditional love in us. It's our soul. So we came in human form to go through these ups and downs, to really get you to feel lonely and even and depressed, sad, anger, but also love, connection, all these emotions we came here to witness and feel in the human body. So, with the fear, once little Kel had no clue, once another trauma happened, she was then like, "Oh my god, I did this wrong. I should have saw that coming." And then she started trying to plan my future out. That's why we're constantly in the future. We're constantly in the future because our inner kids, our fears, which are our inner kids, are trying to go, okay, if I see everything coming, then I'll know how to handle whichever one of these things come. That's why we think worst case scenario. And most of the time, we don't even get to worst case scenario. But that's why the inner child does it. So that's why the inner child is constantly either in the past or in the future, but they're never really present in the moment. Because when you're present in the moment, your mind actually doesn't think. I call it headspace. As I started healing my inner child, realizing that my fears was my inner child and getting her to come out and talk, like really talk, and she's scared. Your inner child is scared of you too because she's wanting love, or he wanting love from you, and instead they get ridicule, they get basically kind of put down by you. um Most of the time we don't go and be like, oh my god, I am amazing. But that is what you have to do to have the best life you want, is truly love yourself. And the way you do that is you start talking to your inner child, which is your fears. And once you do that, then she starts changing. Then she starts shifting and trusting you. And then she'll start giving you back your mind to the adult part of you. And when that happens, you have headspace because the adult part of you pretty much remembers why you came here, what was it about, and all the above. So there you go. Your fears is your inner child. What you have to do, step one, is to get her to tell you her age. They pretty much tell you that pretty fast because they're telling you that's when they lost that safety net, that trusting someone. It's when they lost and realized that they were not in control of their life, and that at any time something bad could happen. So that's where you start. Once you know her age, then you have to actually start talking to her with love, like you're talking to your child. So when I'm talking to my inner child, Kelly, that's 5, I talk like I'm talking to a 5-year-old right in front of me. So as she comes up with fear, we talk it out because this isn't real, guys. These fears are not real. If you stop and think about your fears and how I said that you have a list of like possibilities of what can happen, but like none of them you take, or you don't ever get that far, right there kind of tells you the fears that are coming, they're not really real, right? Just like the whole, like, if money is a problem, which in this society money is a big thing right now, right? But not really. Money's just energy. If you have a good energy towards money and you love yourself, watch how money just keeps coming to you on unexpected ways. But the mind, your inner child, can't see the unexpected ways when it comes to abundance. It can only try to predict unexpected ways when it comes to keeping you safe. And then you have to tell your inner child, you were never meant to keep you safe. So, time, guys, it's literally time to wake up and start loving yourself, because no one's going to love you. I don't care what you do to your body, to your face, to you. If you don't love you, there's not going to be a person that loves you. It will be a constant thing that you keep doing. You can't keep doing things to your body and hoping that that will make you feel better. You just have to love who you are right now. And it's easier than what you think. It truly is. So I'm going to call out little Kel, and she's going to come out and she's going to talk whatever she wants. And then she's going to play with cards with you guys. Okay. So, one thing that we can do is we can get inner childs out of everybody, which means that if you're watching this, congratulations. Your inner child is actually going to come out and she's going to talk or do whatever, but it's just part of what we're supposed to do. All right, little Cal, let's come on out and let's help these little inner childs of people, of humans. Ha ha ha. Hello, inner kids of everyone watching this video. My name is Little Kelly, or Little Kel is what she calls me, and I am 5. What happened when I was 5 that shifted and got me personally, to feel unsafe? It actually came from a situation with my mom. We were out somewhere, and I came in, and I took off my shoes, and I just kinda tossed them, and she came out yelling at me to keep put the shoes straight. And at that moment, I realized, "Oh my god, she's not safe." I couldn't tell you what that meant. I just knew that the one person that would have supposed to protect me, my mom, wasn't going to protect me. It was just a knowing that I had to figure this out and be very cautious around my mom. It wasn't a great feeling. It was a feeling of very unsafe and not sure what was her right and what was her wrong. And in my life, I kept trying to figure out that, and I never got that. Now, do not take this the wrong way. This is not an attack on my mother. I love my mother very much. That was just her inner child and her fears. And one thing Kelly forgot to tell you guys here is that we come into human form to absorb the pain and trauma from our parents, our family, our friends, and so forth. So we are actually supposed to pick up and absorb this. No one, you don't remember this, so no one really comes and tells you this. So at that time when I was 5 and that happened, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to keep myself safe. I didn't know things were coming regardless of what I thought, what I said. So I thought, "Oh my god, okay, I need to make sure I'm safe." So I would dread kinda like on eggshells around my mom, and I was exerting her, trying to figure out like, "Okay, what can I say? What can I do to make her not be so angry and yell?" And the thing is, now I realize I couldn't do anything. And for all you inner childs, you couldn't do anything either. That wasn't part of our job. Just we didn't know. So what happened is so then I started trying to keep her safe. Hold on, sorry. I need to grab little friend, my little friend here. Whoops. Yeah, I need to hold on to that. So then what happened was when I was about 8 or 9, my uncle, which was my best friend, I trusted him truly. We would always go walk to the store and get some pop and a snack or something. Um, I didn't think anything of it because it's what we always did. And then all of a sudden, one day we passed the store. It was the normal walk that we always took, but we didn't go to the store. We passed it and went to the railroad tracks. And there was when I got molested by my uncle. And I literally left my body. I can't even recall basically anything minus I know where the railroad tracks is that it happened. I know the feeling coming back, I was confused, I was lost, I was trying to figure out how did this happen? It didn't feel right, it didn't feel good, and it was like, "Oh my god, I'm so confused." So, again, I thought to myself that I let myself down. I thought I was supposed to see that coming and that I was supposed to know not to trust him. So therefore, again, I'm looking for safety even though I have no frigging clue what safety even is or what it looks like. So then I took that guilt and that blame and I put it upon myself of like I should have known better. Maybe I gave him some signal or something like that. Um and that just carried on with me. And then having a mom that's mentally unstable, that's yelling and screaming at you and calling you these horrible names. I think the names was the most gut-wrenching thing ever, was to be called a whore or a slut or a B word, which still is kinda hard for me to even say, is just devastating. It just yeah, it just destroys. I didn't realize it's what she thought about herself, and I didn't realize this was just pain and trauma that was coming from her mom, and so forth. So, I know now. So then I started planning every future event after my uncle. I started like, "Okay, this I have to figure this out. I can't keep messing this up. I have to figure this out." And I didn't. I didn't figure it out, guys, because we're not supposed to. We're literally not supposed to. So then you start having these beliefs and these um I forget the other word, but you start having these beliefs in your mind that is programmed to you. So then like in school, I'm a visual learner. So when I was little, I rocked school. School was pretty fun. But then when it switched from visual into reading and reading and reading and reading, I sucked at it. So again, I thought, "Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I don't know how to even do school." All right. And then that led for me actually being held behind for reading purposes. Um, so yeah, that was never a good feeling either. So goes out to any inner child out there that you had to be held back. The thing is, we actually weren't stupid. Nobody is. We just learn differently. And in our schools, it's all programmed for like one type of learning. And that's got to change because there is not one type of learning. There's tons of types of learning. So then another thing that hit me was being sexual abused by my stepfather. That was another thing that came and took over me that again, I did not trust him in the beginning. He knew what my uncle did, and yet he turned out to do the same thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, all the fears that I was carrying was fears of the past repeating. Especially, like, older women. I was so terrified of older women, and actually, sometimes that got me in a lot of, like, me not standing up for myself and allowing older women to basically walk all over me, kinda like what my mom did. I was repeating that in my life, and just getting really angry. So, of course, I got really angry because I could not figure this out. There was things that I did not believe that was pushed onto me to make it my belief. Um, Even when I was married to someone who was a Catholic, I went to church. Sat there every Sunday and I was like, "I can't. I can't. This does not feel right." So one thing I will tell you all right now, all inner childs, right? Let go. Let go. It's not our jobs to keep them safe because in a part, they are always safe. The things that they're meant to go through, they will go through. It's not our jobs to try to prevent that from happening. What we get to do is we actually get to relax. And me and the adult Kelly, has been having this conversation for over a month where she's been coming out, talking to me, and sending me love. And we've been watching our YouTube videos, and she's been saying, "Oh my God, we are amazing. Listen to this. Listen to this channeling session here with the angels. Listen to what they're saying." And the message will always be the same on all your guides, angels, your personal angels, the big angels, whatever. which is love yourself. That is actually the same message that everybody is trying to say. But then it's like, but how? Right? Because in this society, they don't teach you how. They teach you knowledge. Knowledge, 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 knowledge. And then teachers will say, "Oh yeah, just get in your heart." But they don't actually show you how to get in your heart. So, she thought a couple years ago, she was actually working from her heart, and she realized last year she wasn't actually in her heart until she went into her heart, right? So, she did a video about this, and now there's even more information that we have came to learn together, which is you get into your heart by sitting there and thinking about a moment that made you happy. So, if you were married, if you married the person you wanted to marry, you would think about that person. If you have kids, you would think about the very first time you held your baby, stuff like that. If you're a pet lover, you're going to think about your pets that you've had in your life that brought you joy. Anything. Like I have crystals. Doo, doo, doo. Holding crystals brings me joy. And then that's how you get into your heart. So as you sit there and you focus, and sometimes it's easier to close your eyes so that you can actually focus, like defocus your eyes, because sometimes our eyes mislead us, so we don't actually do the work. We don't actually close our eyes and experience this, right? So I invite you to close your eyes, and I invite you to think of that feeling where you felt peace, where you felt happy, and then you're going to drop into your heart. And the very first thing you're going to notice is that your head actually calms down. Your thoughts are not going, 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 going. That is the very first thing you will should feel, should realize. And the second is you're going to feel something. Some of you are going to feel heaviness. Some of you are going to feel sadness. Some of you are going to feel that peace. But just remember, no matter what you feel when you're in there, you have all the feelings, which means if you go in and you just instantly feel sadness and you want to hop out of the heart, I invite you not to. Because in that sadness, there's also peace and happiness. All the emotions are in the heart, and every emotion is a good emotion to have. There is no good, there's no bad emotion. If you're trying to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't have this emotion. Oh, I don't have," yes, you do. Every human has every emotion possible. The thing is, you're lying to yourself if you sit there and say, "No, I've never been angry. Love and light only." Yeah, that you're lying to yourself. You can't have love and light only. It's a perfect balance. You have to have all the emotions because if not, you're pushing down what you see as negative emotions, even though they're not negative, they're just emotions. So take out the word negative. Yeah. So when you're there, you want to go in and just feel. And that's how you release things out of your body. For real, release them out of your body is by feeling them, and then it leaves the body. The mind works the same way. As a fear comes up and you go into the heart and you talk about this with your inner child, then you're going to be able to really understand her slash him. You're going to be able to talk to that child of like, oh, okay, I see. You were just really trying your hardest to make sure that I was taken care of. But you just didn't realize that you did it. You were doing it the whole time. That there was nothing that was meant to be on this road that wasn't supposed to be pushed over left or right. That is like, oh, okay, like, oh yeah, we gotta not stop at this abuse and bypass that abuse and see this one coming and stuff like that, or trauma, pain, whatever you want to call it. So when you're in the heart, you just want to be in there and you just want to feel it out. With the inner child, You have to start talking to them with love because you talk to yourself all the time. Just throwing it out there, each and every one of you. You talk to yourself all the time, but it's not very nice, the things you say. It isn't. It's the stuff that we, the inner kids, have felt throughout our whole lifetime here. So we're sitting there waiting for someone to love us and to have these conversations with us. And it's supposed to be you, no one else. And I know that some of you guys were like, "Oh yeah, but if when I find that partner to love me, then I'll love myself more." No, no, you won't. You don't need a partner to love yourself more. You just need you. Just need you. And that's a fantasy. And we as kids, we are great at building up fantasies in our heads. Like we are great of like whatever we feel we don't have. We are so great to sit there and fantasize about this perfect relationship, about this perfect life, about the perfect house, the perfect car, and fill in the blank. But take it from me, none of that actually really matters if we don't love ourselves. Because even when we get houses and cars, we would be fighting ourselves of like, we're not worthy, we don't deserve this. Wait and see how I can mess this out, mess this up in my life. How can this be taken away from me? Yeah. As you keep talking to your inner child and really like talking with love here, they're going to start shifting. They're going to start letting the adult you have the mind back because they don't really want it. Like we don't really want to try to keep living this life the way we're living. It's exhausting. And if you stop and think about how many thoughts in your head you have a day, most of you will be like, whoa, that is so exhausting. How much I just attack myself, try to figure out why, when there is the why is not important. So this is the most easiest way to heal yourself. And it works. Because we've been doing this for a month. And I can tell you this, I'm not in the head anymore. I actually resonate in the heart. And it's a great feeling. I get to go and be that 5-year-old self and go play with my dragon friends and my Scully friends and just enjoy letting her, oh, excuse me, the adult her come in and take over and just watch how your life just changes. And no, it's not the people that change, it's actually you. You change and then you start seeing the world differently. That's how it works. The world doesn't actually change, it's how you see it. If you go back to your past looking for hurt and pain, you're going to find it. If you go back to your past looking for love, you're going to find it. You're going to find it. So, there you go. All right. Let me pull some cards. I'm going to put my friend here. Isn't she lovely? She, he. Look at this. It's a fairy elf. I sell these. Not this one. This one's mine. But yes, I get to sell these. It's so fun. It's one thing we've wanted to do, which was sell crystals that were meaningful for us, that helped us through our journey. And just know there's things that will help you through this journey. There are a bunch of tools, but you don't actually need any of them. You just need you. But you can desire tons of things to help you in this life because you got to realize once you pass the physical part, it dies. That's the only part that dies. So everyone's path is the same. It's called death. And nobody's going to prevent it, and you'll never get off your path. So Enjoy life. It's very enjoyable. We got to sit and see how much she loves me and how much I love her, to the point where we manifested a Jeep truck of our dreams. That was actually, it's so much better than our dreams. That's funny. It showed up at so many different options that we didn't even think about. And we manifested that actually in a day. We did a video called Car Grid. And the thing is, even if you don't love yourself a lot, if you still use the tools, it will help. It will. But if you do that and then start loving yourself, it will be, oh, it comes so fast. Because then you start realizing about this life and how money isn't actually a real thing. It's just energy exchange. And like how many people out there actually hold money anymore. It's just electronic now. And then it'll probably go away where it just becomes this electronic thing. That's why it's all about the energy. All right. What does your inner kid want to say to you? What does your inner kid want to say to you? Let's see. I might have said it all, really. I might not need these. I might have just basically gave you guys all that you need. I mean, I know I definitely gave you all that you really need to start living your life, not in fear anymore. Yeah, I don't think we need these, actually. I think this is done. All right. So basically, I gave you everything your inner child wanted you to hear. I already gave it to you. So let's see if you do the work, the inner work. If you sit there and instead of beating yourself up, which you do that every day, you're just going to actually change it. And at first, it's going to be a little bit, because you have to show up to it differently, where like you're programming and you've been programming for years, so it's so simple for you to talk about your body and how disgusted you are, or how you don't have money never seems to come to you, you're not worthy of money, everything seems to go wrong in your life, stuff like that. This is stuff you say every day. So all you're going to do is, instead of saying that, you're going to sit there and talk to your inner child. Hey, little one, why do you feel that nothing goes right in our life? Hey, little one, why do you feel that we don't have money? Hey, little one, why do you feel that we can't go get a better paying job? And so forth and so forth. And that's what I mean by, that's what you need to do, is literally talk, really talk to your inner child and really get to the bottom of it. And it's just by talking it out to them. So if you do that, I'm going to pull a card. What will happen with the inner child? Let's see if a card comes. And if not, then I'm saying no cards. All right, let's see. Oh, one did come. Oh, hold on. Okay, nice. So, very first card that came when I asked, what if you do these exercises and you you start treating your inner child with love and compassion instead of abusing them, beating them up, you get guides of hearts. Guides of hearts, which is beautiful. It's literally, right, about emotions. And it's just emotion, it's just love. And that's what you will get. You will get love. And some of you will be like, you can't just talk to your inner child and then all your fears go away and then you just have love. Yes, you can. We're doing it. Yes, you can. Yeah, and you'd be so quick to actually talk in a better way when things start to come up. you start really talking to the inner child in you and go, hey, why did that come up? Let's see what that's all about. But yeah, this is a very lovely card. She's up on the moon or the sun. She has so much love for you. It's like you start to shine from the inside out, because that's what we're supposed to do, is shine from the inside out. So that's happened. It's what can come if you do the exercise. Let me see if there's another one for you. I love you all, by the way. Thank you for watching this. And I'm hoping that this helps you all and your inner kids. Seven of Swords. So basically, what this is saying is, as you do the exercise to really start loving that inner child and really start talking to the inner child about the fears, at first it's going to feel like a job. It's going to feel like you're stuck, in a place where you have to really sit here and talk to yourself and give yourself compassion. But that's not actually what's really happening. You're transmuting it. So even though she is dreaming to go play outside, that's your inner child wanting to go outside and play, wanting to give back all the controls, the mind controls, back to the adult you. So it's the inner child here going, I want to go outside and play, but I feel like I can't until they come and tell me that I can, and then have that trust. So this goes to the adults and the child. The child is the one that's actually presenting more in this photo of what your inner child is thinking in their minds. But again, this is just what they're thinking. It's not actually the truth. They're going, this is how I feel, but I want to get here. I want to get here, but I feel like this. So let's get here together. All right, let's do one more. I always like threes. Let's do one more. One more, please. Oh, yep. Okay. Didn't even have to say please on that one. Okay, here we go. It is funny that these are fairy tales, but they're so big. The cards are so big. Seeker of Wands. Look at that. Seeker of Wands. This is Wizard of Oz right here, by the way. So the Seeker of Wands, that basically means once you start talking to your inner child, once you start really having these conversations about these fears and really walk through the fears and realize that most of them are not actually real fears, it's just a pretend fear, you will get to the point where you're seeking new adventures. And it's like, yeah. So interesting that this came out first, right? Instead of this. This would have made interesting sense of like what's thinking, the heart, and then, yeah, Seeker of Wands, go have adventures together. Enjoy life, because life is supposed to be enjoyable. But because it came this way, this is quite more fascinating. So right away, you're going to feel some release, some relief and release. And you're going to feel lots of love, and like that star, that power inside you is going to just be lighting up, going, yes, yes, we got this. We can do this. But then it's going to be a little bit of a hesitation coming. So it makes sense. This is the beginning. Feels great. Oh my God, it's lovely. Then the inner child kind of has a little bit of fear, going, I don't know if I can give you the control of your mind. I don't know if I can literally go outside and play and be a child. Right? So that makes perfect sense. You're going to get that love, that shine, and then a little hesitation. That's all this is. Little hesitation, hence why it's 7 of swords. It's just a little hesitation. Um, none of these are major cards, by the way. They're all minor, which means these are not life-changing things. So what it actually is saying that yes, it's going to change your life a lot, but it's not going to be like this huge thing you have to do. It's little steps to get there, to get to go on adventures. All right, everyone. I am Little Kel. I am signing off of YouTube. Thank you for watching this video, and I sure hope that this helps. If you need to do one-on-one, where we can help get your inner child out and talk about what's going on and the fears, we do have the website down in the description where you can go and book appointments with us for intuitive readings over the phone or over Zoom. So you don't have to be local to us to do this. So there you go. I hope you guys have a great day, and we are sending you much love. Bye, everyone. Till next time. Bye.